I want to show a clip that has always really pissed me off, from like really shows how Klaus actually thinks. So this is in 2017. This is when Trump won the first time, and this is how Klaus reacted to that.
You have this anti-system movement. What we are seeing is a revolution against the system.
Yeah.
So fixing the present system is not enough. Now there is, of course, an anti-system which is called libertarianism, which means to tear down everything which creates some kind of influence of government into private lives. It's dismantling the system.
So what he's saying there, the concept of libertarianism, which basically means to, operate freely outside of the government. I'm not completely libertarian because I think there's some flaws in it, but the overall principle of libertarianism is to not have a centralized government that's controlling every aspect of your life. And this is some guy that has nothing to do with the United States, not an elected official that we had anything to do with, like speaking out against what we voted for in 2017, pissed off that we're like bucking against the globalized system that's trying to put regulation on us and control the way that we live. So this is them like in their truest form, their truest feelings, just pissed off that Trump won. But then here is Klaus today when he had to swallow his pride and introduce Trump. Look at this. It's like a hostage.
They look pissed, boy.
What great honor. What great honor and pleasure to welcome you back to the Davos community. Just 4 days into your new mandate, we highly appreciate your presence with us today.
God damn.
We wish
Get
you
off the knees.
all the best as you take on your critical work ahead.
So that's his little moment of shame. And then Trump just starts laying the fucking pipe. So let's see which one. I have like 5 clips here of him just pounding them. So let's see. What should I go with first? Let's go with gender, because that's something that they care near and dear about.
To hear that word, merit-based country. And I've made it official, an official policy of the United States, that there are only 2 genders, male and female. And we will have no men participating in women's sports, and transgender operations, which became the rage, will occur very rarely. Finally, as we restore common sense in America, we're moving quickly to bring back strength and peace and stability abroad. I'm also going to ask all NATO nations to increase defense spending to 5% of GDP, which is what it should have been years ago. It was only at 2%, and most nations didn't pay until I came along. I insisted that they pay, and they did, because the United States was really paying the difference at that time, and it was unfair to the United States. But many, many things have been unfair for many years to the United States.
So you got to remember, like, the core thing here is that this is poison to the ears of everybody there. Because I mean, if for the average person who's like not crazy and like always looking at what the war between globalists and nationalists, like the whole concept of this is that like these people are obsessed with the idea of overpopulation and like creating a one world system where they could like rigorously control every aspect of society. So, their whole thing is they have to weaken America to the point where they could kind of rein it in and harness it. So that's why, a lot of our politicians do these inexplicable things that like objectively is bad for America and like siphons off the strength and wealth from us. So that, because, they're trying to all collectively push us towards this thing. So, but like when America's run a certain way, like even if you were to like just get out of the way and let dude's thing, it automatically grows in strength because of how well set up it is. But like when you're actively like doing things that are in the best interest of it, it's like a fucking runaway freight train. And like, so that's why like these are some serious heavyweights here. This is like Larry Fink, Jamie Dimon. Wait till you see what he says to the CEO of Bank of America. He calls him the fuck out in this shit to his face. So just hilarious. I'm going to show that in a second. But like, this is just like, he's just pounding them on every single thing they care about. Like the reason that the gender stuff is a thing is because they want to slow population growth. The reason that they had us make all these deals where we're not allowed to produce a certain amount of oils because, you know, energy is the economy. The more energy you have, the cheaper energy is, the more economic growth you could have, the more your population is going to grow. So just line by line by line, every single thing. So like here's Trump
I love it.
calling out the Bank of America CEO to his face for not allowing conservatives to do business with him.
Speaking of you, and you've done a fantastic job, but I hope you start opening your bank to conservatives, because many conservatives complain that the banks are not allowing them to do business within the bank, and that included a place called Bank of America. They don't take conservative business. And I don't know if the regulators mandated that because of Biden or what, but you and Jamie and everybody, I hope you're going to open your banks to conservatives, because what you're doing is wrong.
In front of everybody.
I'll say that your friend Gianni said hello, told me to tell you hello, and we look forward to sponsoring the World Cup when it comes both this summer for the club and next year. So thank you for getting that for the United States.
Yeah, thank you
very much,
everybody.
Like, guys, I've probably slept like collectively 3 hours in the last 3 days because of the sheer excitement and adrenaline of this. Like hit the like button for God's sake. If this is like, you know, cocaine to your ears, like I cannot tell you how much this shit energizes me. Like it's like this is like all of our hopes and dreams coming true. Like somebody just acting on our best interest that's running the freaking country. Like he wasn't even this emboldened last time, not even close. And that's why I played that clip at the beginning. I'll play the full thing real quick because it's an important clip. This is I attached it to my intro at the beginning because it's so important. This is like really where they really started to hate him when he was at the UN and said to them straight up, where did I put that thing? He says, the future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots.
Hell yeah.
It's plain to see. If you want freedom,
This is 2019 at the UN summit, and a bunch of globalists.
I remember this.
take pride in your country. If you want democracy, hold on to your sovereignty. And if you want peace, love your nation. Wise leaders always put the good of their own people and their own country first. The future does not belong to globalists. The future belongs to patriots.
Boom. Like, what else do you freaking need? Like, anybody who opposes that, you should run away from them as fast as you can. So, let's see. Next, we have, let's go climate.
The ridiculous and incredibly wasteful Green New Deal.
Which they love, by the way, and they fought and clawed to make Biden put that in place, and he's just like laying on. He's like, "Yeah, terminated it, gone. We're gonna drill, baby, drill." Just twisting the knife.
Withdrew from the one-sided Paris Climate Accord and ended the insane and costly electric vehicle mandate,
which they also love.
Buy the car they want to buy. I declared a national energy emergency, and it's so important, national energy emergency to unlock the liquid gold under our feet and pave the way for rapid approvals of new energy infrastructure. The United States is the largest oil and gas country
liquid gold,
and we're going to use it. Not only will this reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services, it'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower,
which they also hate.
The world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. My administration has also begun the largest deregulation campaign in history, far exceeding even the record-setting efforts of my last term. In total, the Biden administration imposed $50,000 in additional regulatory costs on the average American household over the last 4 years. I have promised to eliminate 10 old regulations for every new regulation, which will soon put many thousands of dollars back in the pockets of American families. To further unleash our economy, our majorities in the House and Senate, which we also took along with the presidency, are going to pass the largest tax cut in American history, including massive tax cuts for workers and family, and big tax cuts for domestic producers and manufacturers. And
By the way, why does he look so much younger and healthier and just overall better than
so that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that's how I right away knew, and I remember that speech. But the difference between him there and before is huge. Like,
yeah,
I mean, like now it looks like he's been like I don't know, been on.
like he lost some weight. He got a better spray tan, like because his spray tan did
it-
used to be orange. Like as much as I love him, like it wasn't
rough.
it wasn't a good shade before, but he found the right shade.
Oh yeah, real quick chat. Which was your favorite one so far? What video you like the most? Let us know.
Good
Make
question.
sure you hit like. Make sure you subscribe. If you're not subscribed, hit that share button. Let people know, baby.
And is this the happiest that politics has made you feel in your entire life? Because like,
I mean, like I think
I feel like the equivalent of a Jets fan for politics for the majority of my life.
I mean, it feels good, right? Like, how can't you feel good? I mean, like you know,
we were captive.
Yeah, for 4 years.
Like we were on a freight train going in a terrifying direction.
Any day you were literally waking up every day. What video of Biden did you just see him fall? Did you see him fall asleep? What is he?
What's he signing now? Like, oh, yeah, okay, we're not allowed to drill anymore.
No, like, and then like now you have Trump every single day. Here's what I'm signing. This is what I'm doing. This is where I'll be at tomorrow. Hey, by the way, America first. You know what I mean? Like getting in there, talking in front of the global, what is it? The global fucking
the global elite swamp creatures.
The global elites, like talking in front of like, hey, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Like I was talking to a buddy and I'm like, man, he's moving different this time. It's like it's I don't know. It's like a revenge tour. You know what I mean? He's just on it. You know what I mean? And it's not just I would say against Democrats. It's against everyone, man. Like I really do feel like he's taken personal the war of Russia and Ukraine. He really has taken it very personal how great of a track we were on, and then like how bad it's gotten. You know what I mean?
You want to go there because he calls Saudi Arabia and OPEC out to their face, telling them that the war is their fault, and they bet he's actually disappointed that they didn't do what he wanted, right? Since he was going to win.
Yeah, I mean, keep it.
Which, by the way, Nuffy said politics shouldn't have ever been the highlight of your day. I mean, I always laugh when people say like, "Oh yeah, politics doesn't interest me," or "I don't follow politics." Like,
it affects us.
You could say that all you want, but like you do. Anybody who says they don't care about politics does care about politics because it affects your healthcare, your income, the safety, everything. Like the crime that's around you. You know, like every aspect of your life, these fuckers have their hand in. So you better care about who's running shit.
I mean, it's just like the last 24 hours, they've raided like major cities. They've gotten a bunch of criminals, and what I love about that too is they're like, this is who we just got. This is where he's from. This is his crimes. Like they are letting us know.
I love Homan so much,
but I really love the transparency of what they got going on. You know what I mean? They're not trying to hide. It's not like you got the news distracted. At this point, the news can't even distract us. They can't even help it but to show what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they actually have stuff to be proud of now. It's like not shameful anymore.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Trump bragging about Saudi Arabia making a giant investment to the U.S., but also rounding up the number, just like, hey, like I think they're doing this much, but I think they'll go and do this much because we really helped them out. And by the way, you better lower your oil prices because that's the only reason the war's still going on.
Let's see.
Also reported today in the papers that Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America, but I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down.
Bring it down.
Which, frankly, I'm surprised they didn't do before the election. That didn't show a lot of love by them not doing it. I was a little surprised by that. If the price goes down, the Russian
and he fucking remembered, baby.
Immediately.
He called him out.
The price is high enough that war will continue. You got to bring down the oil price. You got to end that war. They should have done it long ago. They're very responsible, actually, to a certain extent, for what's taking place. Millions of lives are being lost. With oil prices going down, I'll demand that interest rates drop immediately, and likewise, they should be dropping all over the world. Interest rates should follow us.
Damn, bro, there should be a fucking eagle every single time he fucking starts these
Just like
things.
swoops by.
Oh, no! Just fucking a jet flying by at the end of every single one, too.
I
Holy
know.
shit. God damn, he just whipped out that fucking big fucking
Just long, like
those American Islam and just dropped
Yeah.
it right there, baby. Holy shit. Hell yeah. He didn't give
Insane.
a fuck.
And
He walking different, man. He walking different.
yeah, but he's absolutely right though, because I looked this up before, and so Russia's GDP, like 40% of it's connected to the price of oil. So their oil goes down, say 10%, Russia's GDP automatically goes down about 5%. So like if oil goes from like $80 a barrel to $60 a barrel, then boom, they get their GDP just totally wiped out. And that's why they waited till now to do this. So if you thought it was over then, he also calls out the EU. He didn't forget about the EU.
No,
And,
sir.
This might be a reason, I guess, why he's kind of getting some support from whatchamacallit, the big tech companies. Oh, where's that one?
Chat, let us know. Thumbs up if you like it.
Read
Which
some
one's your
chats quick, because
favorite?
read some chats quick. I have to find one.
Here we go. Here we go. We got DV8340, F-18, and an eagle as a pilot waving the flag. Damn straight. Damn straight. We got Les. I'm not going to pronounce your last name, Les. I'm going to mess it up. But thank God he turned Trump's head. Damn straight, brother. Thank God. We're all grateful. What else we got here? Bruce Tanner. And this is actually a good question here. Brand, did they officially release the JFK files? I had seen that they were working on it. It was going to happen. Do you have it, or are we still waiting?
So they did, and I'm going to show that after we do this run through. So what's going on with that right now is there's a process where the National Archives and the FBI or CIA database, like it's kind of like a thing where that's where the stuff gets dumped. And it's a process to go in there and retrieve it, but also it's a process for them to, make it from classified to unclassified. So I don't know, just the fact that there's stuff not on X, like going viral with like, oh yeah, like here's a new detail, like that's shows that there's nothing really out yet. So I think that's in the works of being declassified still, but I'm going to show a video in a little bit of the exact process that you could do once it is declassified, because there's going to be some degree of deciphering that goes on, because it's like thousands of pages of documents.
Yeah, I saw Congress kind of spoke about it, and then I know they said it could take up to a couple days here.
Yeah,
which they got weekends off, so probably won't be till Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday that we get this.
By the way, speaking of declassifying the JFK files, the sick, twisted piece of shit Mike Pompeo, who was the last Secretary of State, who I guess was the one who convinced Trump not to declassify the entire thing. Like, that guy is a swamp creature. He also had his security detail revoked today, in addition to military industrial complex John Bolton. So, they're both on an island. Yeah, they're gonna have to hire a mall cop or something if they want to have some semblance of security. All right, so this is Trump sticking up for big tech, being bullied by Europe.
I got a call from the head of a major airline, one of the biggest airlines in the world, and he said, "Sir, could you help us? Landing in Europe is brutal. They charge us fees for everything, and it's so unfair."
Really?
Said, "How does it compare to China?" He said, it's much worse. And the other thing, as you know, they took court cases with Apple, and they supposedly won a case that most people didn't think was much of a case. They won 15 or 16 billion from Apple. They won billions from Google. I think they're after Facebook for billions and billions. These are American companies, whether you like them or not. They're American companies, and they shouldn't be doing that. And that's, as far as I'm concerned, it's a form of taxation. So we have some very big complaints with the EU. Thank you.
He's like, I ain't gonna tell you, but something's coming. I got something up the sleeve.
Well, yeah, those freaking little rascals, I'll call them. They have 100% tariff on us for like everything, and we have a 0% tariff on them for like everything. So what the hell is that? Like Howard Lutnick, I believe he's the Secretary of Commerce. he laid this out really well. He said, "You ever hear the Marshall Plan? Yes or no?"
Like the whole plan? Do
I mean,
know of it?
the essence of the Marshall Plan is after World War II, like 90% of the gold in the entire world was in the United States because we just were in the position of being the one that countries like borrowed money from, then used that money they borrowed to pay us to build shit for them for the war. So that happened in World War I and World War II. So there was this giant transfer of money over that time period. So we let like 90% of the wealth in the world by the end of World War II, and Europe was just battered. So we're like, all right, we're going to create some ways to inject money into Europe and help it rebuild itself. So a big part of that was that we were like, okay, we could handle 0% tariffs and we'll let them do 100% tariffs on us. And like, that's a okay idea if you're gonna do it for like 20 years, 30 years, 40s, really getting up there. But now we're like 70 years past World War II, 80 years past World War II. And we still have those same things in place because I mean, either globalist politicians want to let us bleed out and kind of get pushed down to the level of everybody else to help implement globalism, or because they're stupid or because they're getting bribes. I don't know, but it's definitely not in our best interest if we're trying to be a strong country. So I mean,
I'm interested. I am in 100% in favor of let's start fucking gigging after Europe. You know what I mean? Let's start making a little more of our money back that they get on it. And I'm sure if we started putting some tariffs on them, they'd probably lower the ones they got on us. You know what I mean? And then I'm actually interested, chat, how many of you guys are in favor of this? I'm sure many people would agree. Let us know if you guys are in favor of putting some tariffs on Europe. Let's make some money back. Let's bring down that euro.
Well, go ahead.
I know, I know even the European Union now, even for Americans, it was an equal. We could go to the European Union whenever we wanted. We didn't have to put any visas or anything like that. I think now for the European Union, you have to pay some $15, $40. You got to pay for some type of certification or to be allowed into Europe. I know somebody right now, one of our buddies, Miguel, he's trying to go over there and they're having to go through all these hoops just to go over to Europe. And it's like, I mean, you make all this money on us and now you're going to make us pay you even more to go over there visit. And I think that just started this year, if I'm not wrong. So, I mean, not on top of that, not only are you making all this money, now you're going to make everyone apply to go into the European Union and make even more money from us,
Yeah, no, it's disgusting. And it's because we don't negotiate. We haven't had a negotiator in office since the last time Trump was in. And then before that, I don't even know when the last time was, maybe Reagan. But this chart right here is a very important chart. Me and Pat made a video about this like a month ago and had a couple million views. The whole essence of it was how to bring the how to basically eliminate income taxes, how to replace that money with other things so that we don't have to pay taxes involuntarily, because sales tax is one thing because you're choosing to buy something okay, you want to get a little revenue on that, or that's one thing, but income tax, just straight up taking it before you even have the chance to spend it, that's a whole different thing. But this chart right here shows percentage of government revenue that came from tariffs over the years. So go back to 1800. At one point in time, from 1800 till I guess the Civil War, basically until the Civil War, 80 to 100% of our government revenue came from tariffs. And as you'll notice, every time we had a war, that was when the number got knocked down, because when you have a war, you have to knock on the door of the central banks and start printing money, because you can't have a war, like a real war, without a central bank and the ability to print money. So they start printing some money in 1860, and that number gets knocked down to
make it down.
Oh yeah, no, they never get back
up.
Yeah, it goes down to 60, 50% from 80, 90. Then World War I happened. This is the year of the Federal Reserve right here, 1913.
And then bam.
Bam. Yep. Then it goes back up a little bit in the 20s, but then after World War II, that's all she wrote. We're at 0.3% of our government revenue comes from tariffs, which is I don't know. I think the number was $80 billion is what we generate off of $4 trillion worth of imports that we have that we let other countries import to us. Mm-hmm. So if we had 100% tariff on that, that'd be $4 trillion, and our total federal budget's $5 trillion, which all comes from tax revenue. So, even if it was a 25% tariff, that'd be 20% of the revenue that comes from our taxes. So we could have like a 20% reduction in our taxes.
Oh yeah, I mean, he said it, and a lot of people are against tariffs for whatever reason, and then they tried.
It's a globalist thing.
Yeah, they tried bringing it down, and it's like, why? Why would you not want our country to make money? I mean, do we want to? Like, do you want to continue every year to be a threat of a government shutdown?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, at what point do you not see it being bad that we're just kicking the can down the road and we don't want to confront that we are in serious debt? I mean, almost. I think we've already passed it a few years ago. Like, if we continue the way it was beyond return, like we were just going to stay in debt. But I guess, I mean, with this tariffs, I mean, potentially we can knock this thing out. I mean, it'd be awesome to see if we can knock it out within the next couple of years.
Yeah, and when it comes to our national debt, like it's not even that we have to pay it off, but it's just that we have to have our GDP go to a higher number than what our national debt is. Like our national debt's like 36 trillion, our GDP is like 29 trillion. So, if we get a couple of years of knocking down the debt a little bit and growing our GDP at a fast pace, we could get that number to even out within 4 to 6 years.
Man, imagine traveling after that, doing that. Boy, that American dollar be strong, baby.
Hell yeah. Yeah.